let's get into the first match. Syndra getting banned, Olaf getting banned, Ryze getting banned. I'm pretty sure that's a result of what has happened at Worlds.
Yeah, mostly, but Phantomless has been picking up that Ryze a lot as well, so they're just going to take that one away from him. So Nidalee is a bit of a regular ban. Karma is pretty interesting. I mean, Karma hasn't been banned away for a while now, but she has been a pretty annoying combination with the Olaf. Olaf been being banned away as well this game, so not having too much of an impact. But nevertheless, with the bans we have, at least one of their stronger junglers open, which is Elise. So that's being insta-locked for the team here of Gamegear. And let's see what they're going to answer it with. So what's a bit interesting perhaps is that for Masaya, or Tikka Masala as he wants to be called, he does have his Nami open, which he has been playing quite a lot. Is one of the more more popular supports nowadays. So perhaps we're going to see him play that. But for now, Phantom is going to get Cassiopeia, and Mr. Tang is going to go on the Rek'Sai.
Yeah, that's it's definitely an interesting setup for the first part, because we haven't seen the Rek'Sai coming out for a long time. Like, we've been seeing Olaf, we've been seeing Nidalee, we've been seeing Lee Sin, but even Lee Sin is not picked up here by Mr. Tang. So I'm a little bit surprised that he picks the Rek'Sai so early, because there are so many other viable junglers available as well. Is it because he enjoys playing Rek'Sai?
Yeah, pretty much. If you would look at his solo queue stats, one of the top junglers on there is Udyr, but yeah, Udyr is not going to be played in competitive. I would say second on the list is the Rek'Sai, so it is one of his most comfortable champions. He hasn't played it a lot so far. He has been playing Graves 3 times. Then one game of Rek'Sai, one game Nidalee, and one game Lee Sin. However, the only win they did have was on that Rek'Sai. So perhaps he wants to go back to one of his more comfortable junglers and just be certain of the fact that he can put the right amount of pressure. And interestingly, we see the Teemo, and I do know that Imheat plays it. So the question remains, is it a placeholder or is it actually a champion pick here for Imheats?
Yeah, well, it has all the feeling of a placeholder, especially in the position that they put it in. Putting it on Sigma right now gives me the feeling that it is a placeholder. But we will have to just ask everyone what's the if this is true. Do I have any of them on my list? I don't know for sure, but yeah, I'm a little bit surprised by the Teemo pick.
I mean, it is one of Imheat's signature champions, but the fact that it's on Sigma is a bit strange. So I'm wondering if that is indeed going to be a placeholder. Well, we'll have to wait and see. So we do see Caitlyn and Alistar being picked up. Caitlyn is actually being banned away quite a lot lately. Is one of the most potent of the AD carries. Is just able to siege. The traps are really annoying, and she can wave clear pretty easily. So even when you're behind, the Caitlyn still allows you to at least defend your base and put you in a position to come back into the game, which is why she's being banned away a couple of times. But the Alistar has not seen that much play. I personally still like it as a support champion. It's just that he's not as tanky as he used to be, and it's pretty difficult to get him back up to that level, which is why he's not played as often. Plus, you're being forced to make plays pretty aggressively, while the support meta right now is more towards a defensive, just stay back and farm type of champion. So that's a bit difficult. So, okay.
Okay, Teemo is apparently Nami, so we will be seeing a jump back into the champion select. I guess that they're picking up Nami to deny it from Messiah. Like you were saying it, Nami's so open, and they just take it away.
Yeah, so they definitely do not want him to play it, so they're taking it to their own hands pretty early. But then again, I mean, it's a bit weird that they've got the jungler so early, as you stated. They were in a position to go for something else because the Elise was already picked up by Team Gamegear, so they could have gotten the Nami, I feel, in their first rotation. So perhaps a giveaway from them. but who knows? We'll have to wait and see anyway how it's going to play out. And of course, we need to do a quick redo of the champion selects because of that switch up, of course. So.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I almost clicked quit spectating as I was trying to tell them to go. I've had it happen before, and then you're kind of boned, which is not that nice. On the other hand, it will give me an hour to just do whatever I want, and you can cast, but that's not why we're here. So picking up the Nami, removing it from Messiah's champion pool, very smart move. But I also saw Poppy coming out here. Poppy, definitely one of those champions that has been seeing a lot of play lately. Very tanky, but then we see the pickup of Trundle, which is, I believe, one of the very strong picks against Poppy.
Yeah, it does pretty well, especially in the early levels. It's just so easy to pressure the Poppy, deal damage and trade pretty effectively. Also towards a more mid-game stage, it is quite easy for a Trundle to split push against the Poppy because he'll most likely pick up an early Hydra, the Titanic Hydra, and just be able to wave clear easily. So that's going to put a lot of pressure on the top lane, and perhaps he can use that to put pressure on the turrets and maybe force Bloomcall, which is Lenny, if I'm correct. I think it's one of his Smurfs, to defend that lane long enough so that he can make a play with a TP. So, who knows? We'll have to see how that plays out. What I'm more interested about is going to be the mid lane, because I'm Heat back on that Ahri. If I'm correct, I think he played that once before. Or was that somebody else? No, it was him who picked it up. Just going to double check his stats. It was against Asterion. And he went 7-1 and 8. So that's a pretty ridiculous scoreline. So he did pretty well. So I'm going to guess that if Phantom gives him the opportunity to go in and get that first blood, he might escalate it further. But he can get grounded so that he can't use his ulti quick enough. So I'll have to see how they will use that interaction between them. I don't know. It seems like an interesting matchup. Also, for Gamegear, they do have a more pick composition as they have lined it up right now. I mean, they have the Elise, they have the Ahri. Either Cocoon or Charm hits, and they could go pretty ham and get the kill. But also, they have the opportunity to go for re-engage with the Nami, with the Jhin. They can do some pretty good initiations and also disengage if need be.
Yeah, exactly. Like you were saying, the pick composition is there, and don't forget the bubble from Nami as well to pile on to all the CC. And with the disengage also from Poppy's ult, I believe the hammer will be able to say, "Okay, bye, we're done with you." And well, then they have to make a decision: do we still want to go in? On the other side, it's not so much a pick composition. It feels more like the standard team fight composition. They just want to go for go for that extended fight. They have the they of course also have Alistar, very strong, engaged, and also very good at diving once he actually hits level 6. It's not as powerful as it used to be, but still 50% damage reduction is quite a bit.
Yeah, it definitely is. And just it'll allow you to set up a play on the bottom lane, go for the dive at that level 6 stage. Just use your jungle, use your mid laner. And if you're lucky and have a good first dragon spawn, you can turn that into Mountain or Infernal Drake, which are probably the best ones for either team here. And just be able to use that to snowball later. Plus, of course, you can get the turret. So definitely something for the team of Uncharted here to look for. But yeah, the Alistar is going to be interesting. They have a couple of nifty engaged methods, I would say. They can use the Rek'Sai to get in there with a tunnel flash. Alistar can do the same flash knockup, and then they need to snowball it into the Cassiopeia using her ulti. Perhaps then, well, one of the early Alistar or Rek'Sai needs to come in with a knockup as well. And I do feel like Phantomless should be able to blow up a lot of the people on Team Gamegear side.
The biggest issue that I think Team Gamegear is going to be running into is that Miasma. It is going to be stopping the dash from I'm Heat. So if he plays a proper Miasma, I'm Heat is going to be in a lot of trouble when he's trying to go for the Spirit Rush.
Yeah.
And I guess the same applies to Poppy. Poppy will be trying to dash in, but the Miasma is going to stop that.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. How that's going to play out. I mean, in the end, I do feel like if played well, the pick and position could just be a big game changer here. If they can pick off either the Cassio or the Caitlyn, they take away a lot of the damage coming out of Uncharted, and can just pile on top of them and snowball the game from there. But the team fights on the side of Uncharted Gaming should be a little bit better if they have their vision control under wraps.
Yeah, definitely. But that's basically what it all boils down to in most of the games. We see the vision control increasing for a certain team, and right after that they go for a major objective. They go for either Dragon, Baron, or what have you, and subsequently the game ends. I don't think we've seen a game yet. We've seen one game where Baron wasn't immediately game over, if I recall. One game out of how many? We have 4 games a week. That's 1 out of 25.
Yeah.
That's not that much.
Yeah, well, it is. Yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah, I think we had one game where it went really back and forth. Where we saw like 2 or 3 Barons, maybe, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, the Baron is usually a big game changer. These teams know how to use it and how to turn it into inhibitors or even the game pretty shortly after it. So that's definitely, it might be a game changer. I'm really curious to see what that first Dragon is going to be, because I feel like, especially with the Alistar, you want to make a play on the bottom lane. You want to make a move early so you can translate that into a Dragon.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing we're going to be looking at. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're on the rift for what is probably one of the most exciting games of the evening. It is Team Gamegear against the team of Uncharted Gaming, and winner is, well, basically if Uncharted Gaming wins, then Uncharted Gaming has no chance of actually getting into the finals at this point. There's no chance anymore. It's that's the issue for them. The only thing they can do is take out Team Gamegear and say, well, we took out Team Gamegear, Asterion, good luck.
Yeah, plus it's a matter of honor, of course, because they are at a shared last place position with AC Visualize, if I'm correct. So if they get a win, they might just be ahead of AC Visualize at the end of tonight. So it could be a matter of honor. They, of course, want to get the win. So we are into pretty standard positions right now. Rather safe as always. No real aggressive moves have been made by either team.
Although Sigma and Tongue, look at this.
Yeah, they of course they have the opportunity to go pretty aggressive because they have the Cocoon, they have the Taunt pretty early on, or the Charm, I should say. However, you really do not want to take either of those skills at level 1 for a jungler or a mid laner, so they're not going to take that move. And look at this, Messiah and Zephyr in the position in Tribers. They kind of expect Konyo and Anthrax to go for that level 1 camp, but they will not find anybody there.
Instead, they will take it themselves. Boy. Is this possible? No, they decide to just back away. Oh, this is actually much... Oh, no, never mind. Look, I like what they were doing there. They were just waiting and hoping, and now Zephyr and Messiah coming in from the sides. Anthrax just getting a little bit of damage there. Nice ebb and flow. That was a 4-man ebb and flow. That's a very powerful one.
Yeah, that's so annoying to get back into the lane from the side. You just have to accept the fact that you're going to take damage. There's no real way around it, and that gives the lead in the lane over to Team Gamegear, which they would always have had, I would say, because it's a range support against an Alistar. Alistar's not going to do much until level 2 or 3, and even then he needs to go pretty aggressive to be effective. So right now, Anthrax taking command of that lane here.
Yeah, there's not really much that he can do about it. So you can see Messiah is just waiting patiently. We'll be hitting level 2 after the next wave, so that's a good thing. But the only thing they need to do is just be patient right now. If they are impatient, they will get punished for it. You can just see Zephyr, long range, 1 hit. Actually takes a lot of damage there from Konjo, down to half hit points. Can they actually get themselves to that level 2? Yeah. Fortunately, it seems like Messiah on purpose took a little bit less experience than Zephyr, but in the top lane engage there. Luke going in a lot of trouble. Will he go down? The flash goes out. The flash from Tang, the red buff in the first blood. Wow, very well done.
Nice job even transferring over to Tracer That top laner definitely is going to use the help. Oh, there's a flash engage onto the bottom lane though.
Yeah, immediately onto Conjo. Conjo actually not getting damaged by the tower. Oh, no, finally the tower! Oh, that took so long for the tower to actually activate and fire on Conjo. But it did take out 1, 2, 3 summoner spells from that bottom lane. And Messiah, the only one using his own flash in that bottom lane. The only thing is, because of the gank in the top lane, Sigma is now taking away the blue buff, and Mr. Tang will be finding, well, no golem there.
Just in time there for Sigma to take it away. So pretty good job out of him, at least making sure that he accepts the fact, okay, first blood is gone, I just need to take an advantage and take away something from Mr. Tang in his own jungle.
But so. Mr. Tang is just dropping a ward. Oh, ping ping, going out because they saw him dropping a ward there in that little brush. So he knows, okay. Oh, he's actually going in. He gets spotted out by the scuttle crab, and I guess it's a little bit of a advantage for Mr. Tang because he was going to waste a lot of time there in that bottom brush.
Yeah, he would have wasted a lot there for sure. But the thing right now for Uncharted is that because the flash has been used on the Alistar, they don't really have a reliable way to initiate up until the flash is back. So pretty much Messiah has used his one ability to get in there and potentially get a kill. And I wouldn't say that he messed it up, but they still had minions of Team Gamegear under their turret. So there were no tower shots being fired onto Konyo up until the last minion died. So that is the big reason why they couldn't pick up a kill there. So that's a bit unfortunate, but at least a good effort.
They got the summer skills, so that's a that's a big thing. Top lane though is going to be interesting because we have both of the junglers moving in slowly but surely. Sigma is already in this brush. Mr. Tang has decided to just back away and go for the crux instead. So maybe Traitor is going to be in a bad position here because he's moving straight into. Cocoon misses and Traitor can just walk away. Well, that didn't work out for him, and now he can just farm under his tower and have no problem whatsoever.
Yeah, so that was a bit unfortunate. Traitor was just sidestepping a bit back and forth between the minions, so Sigma not patient enough to get a definite hit onto Traitor. So no gank there. Being spotted out now by Mr. Tang in the river.
And both of the junglers heading back to the base. Traitor in the meantime in the top lane, fighting with Blue Call.
Bottom lane. Cassiopeia is moving in because, you know, Mountain Drake is up. They go for the engage here.
Yeah, they have no summoners, so now Konjo is in a lot of trouble. Phantomless coming in, the exhaust goes down to Konjo. They're focusing their attention onto Konjo. Will he go down? It certainly looks that way. Yeah, he has no chance to survive. Make your time.
Traitor.
Top lane now as well. Traitor will nicely dodge that cocoon. But yeah, very well done there with Phantomless coming in when they had no summoners.
Yeah, so good response. There was also no ward on the route between mid and bottom lane at that point of time. So pretty much Phantomless able to go in there and get that one for free. And now they translate it into a dragon.
It's a good one too.
Well, Sigma comes. Yeah, it's a pretty good one. So definitely making use of that RNG.
Yeah, I mean, Mountain Drake is definitely one of the ones that you want to fight over, and there's no way that Sigma is ever going to be there on time. So they get the Mountain Drake, they have 2 kills, they have about a, well, say, 1500 gold lead, more or less. And to make things worse, the gold lead is already on the top laner, so that means that he can just dominate that lane.
For sure, and that's going to mean that he's going to put a lot of pressure onto that lane. He's going to look for that... for the Hydra as probably the first item, just to abuse the fact that he has gotten that lead here, and he'll be able to push out the wave and then rotate into the mid lane, or perhaps use his teleport earlier than Bloomcall can.
Yeah, although look at no, Sigma was moving in, but this is a very good recall here by Traitor. Just going back to base, and Sigma knows. Okay, I can never catch him in time, but now he's heading towards the center, so Phantomless backing away. And yeah, Sigma actually will not be able to gank mid lane, and like I said, Tiamat getting picked up, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it just makes it a lot easier for him to clear the wave and go for some rotation. Sigma actually going pretty aggressive here, spotting out that the red buff is still up for grabs here. Mr. Tang is on his way. but
This
this
is
is
going
going
to
to
be
be a little bit.
Yeah, well, the smite is available for Sigma. So, oh no, there's no smite available for Sigma, so he's pulling it away. Now, finally, he gets the smite. And Mr. Tang knows, okay, I'm relatively close, but I'm just going to take out the rest of the minions and not do anything else. Although Sigma's here. Here we go. A little bit of a fight. The time heat comes in as well. Mr. Tang will go down. But from the rear, there's the Miasma coming out. Well, the Miasma comes out, but that's about it.
Yeah, no place to go there for Mr. Tang. Had his flash available, but realizing, okay, Imheat has his ulti. He used one charge, I believe, to get in there quickly. So he was able to chase him after if he would need to. Oh, Zephyr getting caught here.
Nice flash there by Zephyr. One more hit. Can he actually go down? The Tsunami coming out as well. Anthrax trying to take down Zephyr. Exhaust ticking away. Zephyr so low. He will actually survive this one. Ace Hole coming out as well. Anthrax dangerously low as Mr. Tang is coming in. And Zephyr still hiding in his brush. Now finally able to jump away. But wow. How many hit points was that? 5, 6?
I think like 5 or 10 maybe. But I have to say in the end, good call from Anthrax, not going too far for it, because the rest of the team of Uncharted Gaming was on the way. Rek'Sai was in that river, and so was Cassiopeia. So, ooh, flash out of Konyo there. Need to get away from Messiah just in time.
Yeah, exactly, and Mr. Tang is just going to be clearing out this ward. He knew he had been spotted, so he immediately went in. And forcing a flash for a normal ability is pretty good.
Yeah, definitely worth it. So, once again, Konyo is not going to have his flash for a while, so maybe Phantomless will take a peek at going to bot lane again in a couple of minutes. But I'll have to see. There's, of course, a lot more wards being dropped now into the jungle, so he won't have an easy route as he did before. Getting the blue buff now, so...
Yeah, blue buff heading given over to Phantomless, who is now moving in onto Sigma. Oh, nice flash there, but both of them. And it's a flash for a flash, and Sigma survives for now. It's going to make ganking a little bit harder for him, as well, you do have to repel, but that's about it. As well, I'm not entirely sure what is more handy, keeping the flash on the Alistar or keeping the flash on the Elise.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I like the fact that they want to look for a pick. They want to get a kill pretty soon. However, if you're going to use the flash, you want to do it in such a way that you can then take an objective off of it. So I would have rather seen Messiah saving the flash up until the dragon is about to spawn, so they can take it, because it is an Infernal Dragon. So they already have the Mountain Drake, and adding an Inferno to that would be especially good. Oh, Zephyr getting called out.
Yeah, Zephyr in a lot of trouble, but in the middle there's also a lot of fighting going on. Both sides is actually happening, as in the middle. Phantomless will go down. Mr. Tang actually coming in. Anthrax trying to take down Zephyr, but oh my word, that was double the action. At the same time they engage. Now actually it's also Elise coming in the bottom lane. Sigma looking for a possibility. Here's the repel. Where's the cocoon? No cocoon yet. The knockup from Mr. Tang, keeping Sigma at bay, but the cocoon lands on the Mr. Tang. Mr. Tang might actually go down. Bloomcall now coming in as well. Will Bloomcall be able to get there in time? He has the flash available, but will not be able to do it. And actually, Bloomcall just gave away his top tower. He gave the top tower to Traitor.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is a problem because Traitor now has free time here in the top lane, and he didn't even have a teleport to respond to that. He already used it. I think he might have actually cancelled it there. Didn't really see. Oh, nice knock up there.
Yeah, they're going for Messiah. Messiah in the bottom lane in a lot of trouble here, but has his unbreakable, so he will survive. Actually, first blood on the tower. He takes it down. He's now trying to escape this one. He doesn't have anything to get away with, but he did get the tower, so he trades his life for a tower, which is relatively fine here. Actually, bottom lane, Bloomcall going for Zephyr. Zephyr getting jumped on by everyone. Will go down. Konjo getting hit with the exhaust, but will not be able to get taken out just yet. Oh, actually, Messiah into the wall as Mr. Tang is moving in. But there is no follow-up from Phantomless. A little bit of miscommunication between those two. If Phantomless was there, that could have been a nice kill as Mr. Tang moving in as the ward.
Oh, Phantomless is here as well. Can it get... Oh no, he went back to base.
Oh, Phantomless actually gets damage. Here's the damage from Konjo coming out as well. Phantomless gets hit with the exhaust, trying to back away here. Anthrax is still, well, hurting from the poison. Will actually survive this one for a little bit more. Another exhaust knockup coming out. Is it up there? Is, of course, the ultimate from bottom Phantomless. Looking for Anthrax, cannot find it.
Tidal wave.
But the minions are actually taking out Phantomless. Oh, So close.
Oh wow.
What a fluster truck. Wow.
The Duke's Phantom was just getting out of doors, but he missed. Well, he got hit by a couple of important skills there. The bubble, especially, making it so hard for Phantomless and Mr. Tank to pick up those kills. So he wasn't able to do his damage in time. Then got exhausted as well. So not really able to capitalize on the fact that they were so low. Nevertheless, good movement, and at least they tried to get something more, but they got just one. So now we see Uncharted in position for the Dragon. They have 2 pink wards up already. They really want to get this one.
Yeah, now Heat's taking a little bit of damage here from Mr. Tang. There's not going to die.
Oh, that's
Everyone
right.
else, I'm Heat will survive this one for a little bit longer. Now Mr. Tang has to back away as fast as he can. Here's the Spirit Rush coming out. Ace of the Hole goes out as well. Immediately Zephyr from the, tries to do something, but the Curtain Call will take him out. And now they're on Sigma. Phantomless also joining in the fight, but they couldn't do anything. They were just outclassed in that entire fight.
What was that ace in the hole? Why would you cast it when you're still smack that in auto attack range? There's no reason to go for that ulti, so that's a bit of a waste, and just stops him from doing a lot of damage to the team of Team Gamegear. So that gives them the dragon on top of it as well. So bit of a bad call there from Uncharted, unfortunately. So now we do still see quite some pressure on the top lane from Traitor. However, he has that top turret already down, so I'd rather like to see him move into other lanes, try to get some advantage there, because still he is 1-0-0. He has a small farm lead as well, but that's pretty much it.
So also not really a big fan of the Ravenous Hydra in this. You would expect the Titanic Hydra, right?
Yeah, that's usually the way you want to go. You want to be a bit more tanky. The Ravenous Hydra is, I mean, I kind of, you can kind of pick it up when your lead is insane, you know, when you really want to go out and be one of the damage dealers. I guess with the composition they have, he can go a bit more of that route because they have the Rek'Sai and the Alistar, so they have a couple of beefy frontliners. But honestly, against the team of Gamegear, there's so much damage coming out of them. He's not going to survive long enough to be able to use that Ravenous Hydra effectively.
This is very cute. Oh, bottom lane, Bloomcall. Bloomcall with the ults, I guess, gets hit, but now Messiah from the sides. They're just going for the tower for now. Bloomcall doing a little bit of damage there for Messiah. Mr. Tanga also coming in. They're focusing their attention onto the tower. It seems like they can't really do anything to Bloomcall at the moment. It's so tanky.
Oh, and Traitor meanwhile is in trouble. He is gonna get hurt down by the Curtain Call.
Well, he's trying to survive this one. He almost takes down Sigma, but it wasn't enough. If he actually took down Sigma, he could have turned it around with the health he gets from Sigma.
Yeah, imagine if he had actually a Titanic Hydra with the extra resistance that's coming in there. He would have been able to perhaps survive a bit longer for the turret to do some more damage. So that's why the Phantomless meanwhile
will go down as well. This is yeah. Looks like Gamegear has decided, okay, you had your fun, you had your chance, but we're just going to ensure that we get our 12 points. Up to 3,000 gold lead right now. Actually, Sigma looking for Zephyr. There's the flash forward. Ooh. Can't quite land the cocoon. Now has to back away as fast as he can. And so they move towards, well, taking the red buff away. Smart move. But I thought they were moving towards the Rift Arrow, but they just decided to go back to base.
Yeah. Strangely enough, last week at the DCL we saw every single game that Rift Herald was being picked up. Well, I mean, for the last couple of months, Rift Herald is being ignored, and all of a sudden teams are picking up again. I think we saw it last week as well happen once or twice. So that's a bit curious to see, perhaps because the top laners are, staying in the lanes a bit more, so maybe more in a position to make use of that buff, as we saw before.
Yeah, exactly, but it seems like it's definitely now Gamegear's game, if we're looking at the entirety of the map right now, because
There they go. They're going to pick up the Rift Herald, so Bloomcoal and Sigma trying to do it on their own. Phantomless is moving towards it, but they do not have the correct vision to spot them, so going to be able to take it up for free.
They're going to give the Rift Herald buff over to Bloomcoal, so he's going to be powered up a bit. Looking at the rest of... Again, looking at the map, that Raven's Hydra is doing a lot of work. Traitor putting a lot of pressure on this bottom lane.
Oh yeah.
And it's going to have to... Well, Bloomcoal has to force him away as fast as he can, but just look at his tower going down, how fast it is already down to 50%, and Bloomcoal can't really do anything about it.
Yeah, perhaps that's the decision that's being made. It's like, okay, let's just put Traitor on a split push. Let's let him do as much damage as possible. He's going to get pinched.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble there, but Traitor is just dealing the damage. Just look at him. He's trying to survive based on his lifesteal. Will get hit by the bubble. Will try to, at the very least, now go for Anthrax. Anthrax in a lot of trouble. Look at how low Anthrax went just from that, but at the same time, in the background, Konjo got taken out. Correction, not Konjo, Messiah. Messiah got taken out by Konjo.
So even though they forced so much to kill, well, so much, they used a lot to get onto Traitor, and still they managed to pick up another kill there. So that's pretty insane, and that's not really a good sign here for Uncharted. They're under a lot of pressure. This time, Bloomcoal is going to push down onto the bottom lane and see if he can do the same thing as Traitor has been doing to Gamegear for a while now.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Also,
yeah,
30 seconds till the next dragon, and it's another Infernal. And with the team composition Gamegear has, they really want to get that buff because they want to get a pick off. They want to do a lot of damage in a short amount of time, and getting the percentage damage on top of the items they already have been able to pick up, it's going to be pretty insane, and it's going to be a bit troublesome for the likes of Phantom and Zephyr and also Traitor each time they get hit by a Cocoon or a Charm.
Yeah, exactly. For now, though, both of the teams are getting ready here. There is a Scuttlecrab movement speed pad ready to go for Gamegear, so that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Will be interesting during this fight because Bloomcoal is already in the front trying to find a target. Actually, Caitlyn at the same time dropping a few traps, so she's relatively safe as the dragon is going down to about 2500. It's actually resetting, so they're backing away from it. 2400, 1900. This is going to be basically a smite war. Can they get it? Yes,
wow.
It's going to be Gamegear and engage. Straight to Mr. Tang. He will be going down. The final wave is going to force Caitlyn away. Traitor in a lot of trouble. Has to run as fast as he can, and that's not really what you want from your tank. He will get taken out by I'm Heat. One hit. No, not yet. Just a little bit more, but at the same time, Sigma tries to go for Phantomless. Will he actually get it? No, he will not. He will get taken out. And now they're focusing their attention onto Anthrax. Oh, but here's the reinforcement from the rear. Zephyr versus Konjo at the same time. Konjo wins that 1-versus-1 duel. Phantomless trying. Oh, nice flash war there by Konjo. Goes down, and it's a full-on ace. Gamegear takes down the entirety of the team of Uncharted Gaming.
That's just insane. Sigma winning the Smite War against Mr. Tang and not giving away that second Infernal Dragon, and also picking up the team fight, just trading it for his own life. So very good job done here by Gamegear. 16-6 in kills, and now over a 7,000 gold lead. And with those two Infernal Drakes, they are going to be able to dish out a lot of damage.
Yeah, definitely, and they already did. Like, they've been winning every single fight up till now. It's already a 7,000 gold lead for the team of Gamegear. It's going to be 8,000 by the time I'm Heat hits that wave. And I'm Heat, how much gold does he have in the store? Well, he has about, well, let's say 1,300 gold. Should be enough for him to, at the very least, get himself, like, a needlessly large if he wants to.
Maybe he might actually go for that Void Staff. It is a pretty nifty one to go for early because he already has pretty good base damages, and especially with the Dragon buff as well, they amplify that even more. And just being able to penetrate through the resistances of Mr. Tang, of Messiah, he'll be able to deal damage all around to the team of Uncharted. Not saying that's going to be the route he's going to go to, but you know, it's a possibility perhaps.
There are always possibilities. What I do find very interesting is, of course, now the switch from going aggressive on Trundle. Actually, Trundle fighting with Bloomcoal in the bottom lane, but that's not really that interesting just yet. We'll get to that later. The interesting part is that he's now moving towards more armor. Actually, fight breaking out in the middle part of the map. Sigma getting knocked up. Will he actually go down? Tsunami being used here by Anthrax. But we'll be able to back away. So, a little bit of opinion on the fact that Trundle's now building more into a tanky mode.
Yeah, he really wants to be able to duel against Bloomcoal, but the problem right now is that Bloomcoal has already been able to pick up a lot of tanky items, and Poppy is known for the fact that he's just able to take such a beating, even when he gets low, that right now, every time we see Traitor trying to trade against Bloomcoal, he's just losing it straight out. I mean, yeah, okay, fair enough, he is regenerating from the Hydra, but he's not really in a position, I think, to do actually something to the turret, and they're trying to go for it with Sigma on it at least. Can he get in there?
Yeah, that's going to be a good question, as Traitor's continuing to run away, throwing out his frozen domain in order to get a little bit of movement speed here. Elise chasing him down. Oh, the cocoon was the mind game cocoon, assuming the Traitor would dodge, but it doesn't really matter as he just gets obliterated. Has no form of magic resist, and that is just GG.
Yeah, that's a good move there from Sigma. Had to pop his flash though, so he's not going to be able to use that for Wano, and I'm here just trying to get into position to pick somebody up, but he's being spotted, yeah. So Konyo going for the initiation actually with the curtain call. Can I get Messiah? Not the best start.
There's the cocoon going out, immediately Unbreakable has been popped, but Messiah forced the flash away, so they get the flash. That's a good thing, they also get his ultimate.
Oh yeah.
Making Messiah a very vulnerable target for the next round.
So Heat has picked up that Void Staff, so that means that even Messiah and Mr. Tang are going to get hurt down by him, so they need to be careful and avoid being hit by cocoons, and now they actually go for the Baron.
This is going to be a little bit hard. Teleport actually coming in here. Mr. Tang finds the ward, can't kill it because it's being teleported to. Broomcall moving in as well. Miasma is actually blocking the way towards Mr. Tang. Mr. Tang looking for the jump onto the Baron. Can he actually see that? Yes, he steals it! He steals the Baron!
Oh my god, no!
I can't believe he just did that. This might be what Uncharted needs. They can now make that power play with the Baron and perhaps push into the Gamegear base. They didn't lose anyone. They didn't even lose Mr. Tang.
That's insane. Sigma not even able to use his smite to challenge that one in time. Just a bit too late, I think. Maybe did not expect the damage that was being dealt to the Baron. So that's just an excellent move by Mr. Tang, keeping him in this game because they are still behind by quite a bit. But that 7,000 gold can be well diminished quickly if they pick up some more towers with that Baron buff.
Yeah, and they
will... enough. Sorry
to
interrupt you, but another Inferno Drake is gonna spawn.
24%. That's a lot greater now. Actually has to back away as fast as he can. Sigma coming in. Where's the cocoon? There's the cocoon. Nice dodge there from Traitor. Traitor will actually survive, and courtesy of the Baron buff, his minions will start dealing a lot of damage there to Sigma and Anthrax. Sigma actually now will be forced to kill a few of the minions. But this is very nice. This is exactly what they needed to at the very least stay in the game, like you said. Phantom is moving in. We'll be finding a Bloomcall there, but at the same time, Sigma and Anthrax are there. We also have Heat waiting in the back lines. As Konjo is not near the team. We're moving slowly but surely towards a relatively interesting dragon fight, because there are a few options that they can take. They can either push hard. They have the Baron buff, so technically, if they just send Traitor somewhere else.
I was about to say, why do they not send Traitor to the top lane? He has teleports, and Bloomcall does not. So they could force the matter.
Well, speaking of forcing, here we go, Dragon down. That's the third Infernal Dragon going over to the team of Gamegear. Even with the Baron buff, they're not making it happen. Curtain call. Tidal Wave. Oh, Mr. Tank tried to get in. Actually got blocked, and that actually saved his life, because he would have been dead. Well... What can I say? I'm not sure what Uncharted is doing right now. They should be split pushing with the Baron buff. They have the time for it, and they don't.
They just were in the position to force Team Gamegear to make a decision. Either you lose the top tower or you get another dragon. And even if Uncharted were gonna make the decision to fight for it, they still had the teleport available on Traitor, so why not put him in that position to split push, get a turret, at least in trade for that dragon.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Like now, Traitor is going very aggressive on the tower. We'll actually take it down. Frozen Domain will allow him to escape. Middle lane, same is happening. A lot of minions are dealing a lot of damage to the tower. However, Heat moving in, Mr. Tank
Oh,
will
that
go down.
bubble!
Beautiful bubble! Gets 3 of them, and Zephyr gets destroyed. Now immediately Phantomless gets obliterated, and Messiah, he's, well, a sitting duck, or in this case a sitting bull, running away as fast as he can. But will he actually be able to do anything about it? Well, he's not going to be able to defend. That's the issue. Maybe his minions can, because he will get those empowered minions until he, of course, teleports away.
Yeah, so that minion wave has now disappeared. He's not really able to do anything. Should just let this turret fall and give away that inhibitor, because if he now gives his life, it's going to be a big trouble. And maybe with Traitor here, I want to do something.
Oh,
Actually,
that's good on the Traitor. Yeah. You can see Traitor, he's waiting for it. He's waiting for the possibility, but I would say they wasted the Baron buff. They completely wasted it. They knew they couldn't fight for the dragon, and they didn't split push.
Oh man, yeah. So now, just a beautiful bubble there from Anthrax, just giving them that fight on a silver platter, and just allows them to take up that inhibitor. So now they at least make up for the fact that they gave away the Baron and still got an inhibitor. So that's Tang.
On to Tang, backing away.
Yeah. So next dragon, which will be up for grabs in a couple of minutes, will be a mountain. So, I mean, Uncharted already has one mounted Drake. Imagine them getting a second one. Maybe that puts them into the position to siege. If they can just hold off long enough and be able to disengage from Team Gamegear enough, they could perhaps start pushing back a bit.
This is... It's still pretty much impossible for Uncharted to do anything at this point. Like, they're 8,000 gold behind, they're big items behind. You can see the chaos in their team fights. There's literally nothing that they do right at the moment. Perhaps maybe killing a tower, and even that is something they can't do.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult. Messiah just in the position, ready and waiting. Wants to make a pick off, but meanwhile the rest of Gamegear are on the move towards that bottom lane, and they're gonna lose that tower if they do not respond timely. Actually, Anthrax tanking it up here.
Just tanking it up and taking out the tower. I mean, this is basically the moment where you can say, okay, we're not going to be able to do anything about this. The only thing that they can do right now is hope. Hope that Gamegear fails at actually pushing in. And it's going to be hard. I mean, there are a lot of traps here from... you can see the damage go.
The Tang,
gets hit by the cocoon immediately. Oh, he dodges it. He serves the wave. But now the tower goes down and they go in. Curtain Call going out. 1, 2 misses. 3 hits on Mr. Tang. Double hit on Mr. Tang. Wow. So now the Curtain Call is gone. But they will be able to just take the inhibitor with no problem whatsoever. Sire goes in, Axiom Break, but just gets melted by all the damage that is on the side of Team Gamegear. Traitor tried to go in immediately. Tang also dashing in, but look at Tang. Even Tang, the tankiest member will just get obliterated. Phantomless gets taken out. Zephyr desperately trying to fire from back lines, but cannot turn it around. And they lose 2 inhibitors. Boomroll jumping towards Zephyr. Zephyr will be able to survive courtesy of his trap at the towers, of course, on the Nexus. But it's ace game. It is game. Yeah. It is Gamegear who will take this victory, get themselves to 12 points, and now it's all in the hands of Asterion. If Asterion wins, we're going to see an amazing 3-way tie. I'm not sure how it's going to be resolved. If Asterion loses, we have our top 4, and it is now guaranteed. Not Sector 1. We have our guaranteed MCon. Sector 1 needs to win in order to guarantee themselves the top spots. Yeah, what can I say? There's a lot up for grabs. There's still a lot up for grabs, but it's definitely going to come down to if Asterion wins the last game of the evening, then things really get interesting.